Hello, I'm Adam Peterson. In my experience with project leaders and running a group of global project leaders, I found there were some repetitive tasks that were very key, but really if you sort of zoomed out just one level, there really are these four key skills that determine if you're going to be successful as a project leader or not. And there's not three, there might be five, but I'm pretty sure these are the four that I was able to focus on and really help people learn and coach. And as you think about this, if you're new to project leadership and you're coming into it, you probably have different aptitudes for where you might drift in these four. But you got to do all four. You can't ignore any of them. So the first one is to build a strong team. Projects, most project leaders have people just reporting to them on the project. They're not their boss. And so that idea of having, to be able to influence people to come together, to work together, to do well working together, and then really to own the project. So they aren't doing it for me. They're not running Adam's project. This project is their project. And that building the team and building ownership is really the first key skill of a project leader. The second one is the stakeholders. You have a sponsor, hopefully, of a project, a strong sponsor, but you also have all the people that are watching the project go, that have an interest in it, that they want to see what happens. They're thinking your project might help them or solve a problem for them. And so the second key skill of a project leader is working with that outside group, being able to communicate to them well, being able to interface as needed to keep the team focused on the task at hand and not get distracted by other things in the organization. That communication needs to be tailored. One of the things I've seen kind of as a default is that a project leader just takes detailed minutes during their regular meeting with their team, hits the send button, and they think they've communicated with their stakeholders. Communication is always a two-way street. It has to go both ways. If you're not actually talking to your stakeholders and getting feedback from them, you're just sharing information. And that's not bad, but it's not complete. It's not really managing stakeholders. You need to be able to tune your communication per timing, per their personality, things like that. The third key skill, and this is one I've seen that some companies actually don't encourage, but the project leader should be the first line business manager. That business acumen of, is this project going to make money? Every day, the project is taking resources and burning money. There's a burn rate, and our projects don't pay off until they're done, right? The company does not realize a benefit until our projects are implemented and out there either selling new products and making money, making the improvement to manufacturing, whatever the project goal is. We're not realizing that until the project is finished. Until then, we're just burning money. And waking up every day realizing, is this worth doing for another day? When we get new customer feedback, when we have a failed trial, is it still worth pursuing? Or should we redirect, possibly stop and start over with a different route? So that's the third key skill, is that business mindset sitting there. I've met a lot of project leaders that just are doing what they're told. I was told to lead this. It's not my job to say if I should stop it or not. And yeah, if you're installing a new heat exchanger somewhere, then yes, install the new heat exchanger. It's construction. We need it. Please put it in and we'll run with it as soon as we can. But if it's creative, if it's solving a problem that hasn't been solved before, if it's launching a new product that you would expect someone to buy, then there's some risk in that. And so as a business leader, you need to be thinking about, is the risk still worth the reward that's hanging out there? Or have we learned something that says we need to redirect? And then the fourth key skill, the fourth one that we can't ignore, is all the tools and the forms. As a project leader, we are required to go through certain gates and different approvals, and we have to be good at those. And the more we lead projects, the faster we get and the better off we are. And the more we work with other project leaders, they help us get through that faster too. And so I always list that as the fourth skill, because the first three really are what it means to be a project leader. And that fourth one is doing what it takes to get them, feed the beast of the organization we live in. They need these forms, they need these tools, so we have to do them. But that's always fourth. If you think project leadership is just filling out the forms and the tools, you've got that wrong. That might be a project administrator actually in some companies. But if you have that, then I so worry that your system might be a little bloated. So project leaders should be able to run those bases very quickly and get things done. But really, we're building the team. We're communicating with stakeholders. We've got our business hat on thinking, is this project worth doing another week, another month? And then we're also completing all the forms and tools as a part of that communication and documentation, so people that come after us can understand what our project did, and that is very valuable. So those are the four key skills. I hope you found that helpful, and I look forward to working with you. I'm Adam Peterson.